This is not right. This is wrong.
This is really
This is wrong
wrong.
that the city is doing this to you.
Yeah.
Barry Thomas Anderson, but I go by Tom.
Congratulations. That's amazing. And have you lived in London?
I was born in Burlington, Ontario, and moved up to London when I was 2.5 years old.
Okay.
So
you have a place to live. You have an apartment, correct? That you pay for? You pay rent?
I pay $550 a month rent for a private room at the Men's Mission on York Street.
So did the mission kick you out? Is that what happened?
Yeah, because
What do you do during the day here?
just lay here. This is it.
So that's it.
Absolutely nothing.
You can't do nothing,
No, I'm a double amputee.
and you can't get out.
His legs are gone.
Nope.
All right. So you're dependent on people to bring food to you.
Yep.
You depend on people to care for you.
Yep.
All right. I see there was a gentleman here helping you a minute ago.
Yeah, that's my PSW.
Okay.
My personal support care worker.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So they come over how often?
3 times a day, but in the middle of the night, I'm on my own.
Okay.
So
This is not right.
I'm gonna be a little bit dramatic here.
Okay.
So if something happens to me during the middle of the night, and in worst case scenario, I end up dying. You know, I'm just another body that they take away.
No, you won't be.
You won't be. You won't be. That's the
promise you
problem.
that.
That you won't be.
Have they
It's
given
not a
you?
problem. That's the problem that they're thinking that it's like that, and that's the way it is. You are right,
Yeah,
but not in our hands.
No.
No.
Have they given you a phone that you could call for help if you're in
Nope,
distress?
nothing.
No, he's
They just put you here in a tent
Yep.
and at Watson's Park, and that's it. That's all. Forget about him.
Sound for 519 asked me if I could help him out with somebody that had WIPT, and I said I have no problem with it.
Mhm.
He said, jump in the van, and we went down to my old spot where it floods.
Yeah.
I took him right out of there because it floods.
Yeah.
When it floods, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's like up to my knees. Okay, I flooded
Yeah.
and I lost everything. So,
But us, we can walk out.
yeah, he
Yeah.
can't
Come
walk
out.
out. He
No.
can't. He's stuck there by
Yeah.
himself, right?
How long have you been here in this tent?
Since last night.
They brought you here last night.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And they didn't tell you or didn't suggest to you that they're going to do anything for you to
Nope.
get you out somewhere.
Nope.
They came here, set up the tent for you, threw you in, and
No,
that's it.
I set it up.
You set it up.
Yep.
Yeah, she
Okay.
knows how to pitch tents.
So they didn't even do
I called the
anything.
tent lady. I had 5 tents in one winter. It was warm.
But the thing is they just brought the stuff here, you here, and say, well, the homeless, you take care of him. Basically, that's what has happened.
Just drop
Yep.
off.
Yep.
And then you're stuck here to do nothing.
That's
Well,
right.
We're going to put this and we're going to let the public know what's going on.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You need to be in-house somewhere. All
Somewhere
right?
where they can get full
Yeah.
24-hour
Care.
care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not right. You need help.
So what are you looking for?
I got a bunch of pay to sluice and our water license is up next year. So I'm looking for a plant. I thought I'd give you a try, see if you had anything kicking around.
Going to the lower mic on this side, please state your name. You have up to 5 minutes. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Adrian Keat. I'm part of the London Knuckle Draggers. We're an advocacy group for the people of London. I've heard a lot about the ARC. Even on the streets, they have a great name. You have a group of people that are doing it. That they're committed, and you should be looking at these groups that are actually doing it and funding them more and finding out where you can get the money from the groups that aren't doing anything. Not anything, just we need a group like the ARC to be able to really do what they need to, what they're doing. They're the grassroots on the ground. I know a lot of money ends up going to the planning and the organization and hiring all the people to put the plan into action. But you've got people that are volunteering at 1 to 6 or 6 to 1, and they're doing it. They're putting and there are other groups out there, and I'd like you to maybe look into these groups and see who's actually the outcomes, and start putting more money towards them. There's a lot of shortcomings, and we're starting to see it more and more. There is a man, his name is Thomas Anderson. Has no legs. He is probably just not the nicest person in the world, and I get that. But he has no legs. He's in Greenway Park right now in a tent. His PSW sees him 3 times a day, and he's left alone at night. I'm asking you to help him. Just because he's a human being, you don't have to like him. When we shut down for the 2 years, it affected a lot of people mentally. They lost their jobs. Some of them are down in that park telling me. Some of them are waiting for their surgeries. They're here visiting. Just, we've been spending our money on the wrong things. We need to start spending our money on the right things. We are going to go into recession, and we are going to be in a worse spot. If we have this amount of people here, and we're not even there yet, we're going to have 10 times more. We have a record amount of mortgage delinquencies, and it's getting more and more expensive to buy your groceries. And if you keep on taxing these people, you're going to tax them out of their houses. They could have their house completely paid off, but they can't pay the taxes. We need to go and put our money where it's working, like the ARC, like 519 Pursuit. We need to make a difference. It's not going to get better. It is going to get worse. They need to have security. They need to have sanitation, and we need to get rid of the safe supply. The government is creating an underground drug thing. They're selling the Dilaudidines to get the money for the fentanyl, and then they're selling it to the kids, and then so we're giving the money, the drugs for them to sell so they can get the stuff that they want. I encourage
30
anybody
seconds.
to watch Atrocity. It was in the Forest City Film Festival. It's put on by a doctor and a former police officer. Please give that a shout. It really humanizes our homeless, and we need to care for them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Thank
As
you.
Carl Robinson. I'm also a member of the Knuckle Draggers. I'm just going to continue on the issues that deeply impact the well-being of our city, homelessness. As we enter another harsh winter, the reality for many Londoners is that we will face freezing temperatures without a safe place to sleep. This is not just a crisis compassion, it is a moral and civic responsibility. I'm curious why we're funding London Cares and giving them $174,000 to run a CIR program that comes out and cleans out people's encampments and leaves them with nothing but the shirts on their back. They're supposed to be putting their stuff into storage when they do this and leaving a notice on the camp, which nobody would ever return to their camp once it's cleaned out by this horrible organization. I don't understand why London Cares is leading people to these encampments and CIR just comes in and cleans them completely out. I've been trying to get on the phone with Debbie Kramers and Mr. Wade Jeffries, the directors and the managers of these organizations, as I was currently homeless and still kind of am, I guess, but I do it by choice because I'm trying to be an advocate for the homeless to, go against the council and realizing that places like the ARC are very important in our community. And if you don't give them funding and you shut them down, what happens to everybody? Where do they go? Do they go to your front door to eat meals, sleep on your front porches? Like, what happens then? Where do they go? But what happens when you shut all these organizations down, but keep someone like London Cares that's leading people, the CIR, to clean out encampments? Like, it just makes no sense to me. Why give the police funding to fund a military tank, the bullies in our city, The ones that do whatever they want and no one says anything about it because everyone's too afraid to stand up to the police. Where do we go from here? What are you going to do with the funding that you pull from the ARC? Where's it going to go? Back into the police? Is that your game plan? It makes no sense to me why this is even a debate. Why we're even talking about taking away funding from an amazing organization like 519 Pursuit or London Care. Like London Cares does not, they don't need any funding. They don't deserve it. As far as I'm concerned, they're a horrible organization. The ARC are the ones that are doing all the legwork. They're the ones that it should be getting all the funding without any discrepancy whatsoever. This shouldn't even be a question at all. I don't understand where your heads are at. You're supposed to be helping run this city, and instead you're driving it into the ground. I'm sorry, but you are. You cannot take away the ARC. You have to give them exactly the amount of funding that they possibly need to keep this program running year after year after year. The more you increase the taxes, the more people pay for rent, the more people are going to be homeless. You keep kicking everyone down to Watson Park and then it's at max capacity or this and that. Why don't they have showers down there? Answer me that question at least. I know you're not answering questions, but why don't they have showers? Something that's been ongoing for 4 years, they've been asking council for showers. When it was down at Blackfriar Bridge, still no showers. It blows me away. All this federal and provincial funding that you guys get, where's it go? Where's it go? Where's the 74 million? Mayor said that, it was going towards affordable housing in the London Free Press. Did everybody forget about this 74 million? The 24 million that was donated by, anonymous donors? Where's it going? Because I don't see it on the streets. No one does. That's a lot of money. It's over $100 million. For what? Who's putting it in their pockets? Where's it going? You got to at least show some kind of headway of where all this funding's going. If not, the real criminals are sitting right here in this council, as far as I'm concerned, along with the London police. Maybe that's why they're getting as much money as they are.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for allowing me the chance to speak to you tonight. I want to say I am a tenant who deals with and lives in low-income housing. I also have dealt with the pest control issue and a lot of the other topics that we've discussed today. And if you're in one of these situations, a lot of these conversations, they're all going to apply to you. So I really would like to comment on the, excuse me, the VHA home health care, Extreme Clean, extremely important for ourselves and our tenants as we are dealing with severe pest control issues. I've personally, in the 10 years I've been in housing, it's the first time I ever had to deal with pest control and these types of issues. And it's happened to me twice and through no fault of my own. And while I do recognize that tenants have a responsibility as well, there's information out there, resources that are supposed to be available to us that we have not been informed on or have not been provided effectively. I think Extreme Clean is an excellent source, but I do think that there are some issues there that need to be monitored and that need to be spoken to. I also recognize that, yes, some tenants do have issues because of disability or mental health issues and concerns like that. They're going to need extra help. We don't want them to get to the point of being evicted because they can't manage to prepare for these services or because they have a hoarding issue. And what they need is a social services, a mental health worker, someone to come in and work with them on that. And I'm trying to find that service for some of the individuals that live in my complex. That's what we need to do. We need to find those resources before we look to evicting these people, putting them on the street, and having more homeless people. The homeless people that are out there, I feel for them. I have seen things that I'd never wanted to see. I left a meeting downtown this week, and homeless people's belongings were on the street where I catch the bus on Dundas. And I felt for them. They weren't there. They couldn't guard their property. Maybe they went to the washroom. Maybe they went to get something to eat. Somebody else came along, rifled through what little bit of property these people have, stole it, and walked off with it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? We have gotten so low that we were stealing from the lowest people that are out there, the people that are barely surviving. And we have people stealing from them because they don't have a place to live. That really saddened me. I want to talk about Tenants Defense Fund. I think it's something we really need to create, we need to look at, because we need to have rental caps. Rents are getting out of control and they're not online with individual incomes. And we have situations like AGIs where landlords are applying for increases that are not valid, not effective. We have bad faith evictions where people are being evicted for absolutely ridiculous reasons. And all of these things are creating homelessness. By the end of December, when you say these other encampment services and stuff, it's going to end. Well, I know of 2 complexes, high-rise buildings, that those like 1,000 people are going to be out on the street by December. So that is going to increase our homeless population. As far as police and security services, I'm very displeased with London Police Service. I've lived in different locations in Canada and the US, and London's police service has been the worst I've ever seen or had to deal with. I have called them very few times, but crucial times. They have not shown up in 24 hours. I did not get a phone call. I did not get a policeman to my door. I did not get a follow-up. Absolutely nothing. It was like I didn't exist. So to give them more money to provide the quality of service we're getting from them is a disgrace. I want to see that money go to more security. We need more security in our building. I would rather see the money go to increasing security.
30 seconds.
And then I would like to see, when we have like LMHC talks and electoral talks and these, I go to them, but they don't give us time to really give our input. They say you can talk at the end, but then they're gone. They don't hear us. It's like we're talking to you, but you're not talking to us. And I'd like to see that improve. And so I won't take any more of your time, but I would really like to see some of these issues addressed coming forward. Thank you very much.